Hello there. Today I watched Fast X, and now I want to tell you about it. For those of you unfamiliar with the Fast and Furious franchise, it's a series of movies about a guy named Dominic Toretto and his crew who started as car thieves but now work for a government agency taking on secret missions. Fast X is an action-adventure with a bit of drama mixed in for good measure. The story this time revolves around a man named Dante Reyes taking revenge on Toretto for killing his father. Dante goes after his family and they must come together to face this devil of a man. Fast X is an ensemble film directed by Louis Leterrier and written by Dan Mazzo, Justin Lin, and Zach Dean. It features so many famous faces that I was starting to forget them all by the end. The ones that get the most screen time are Jason Momoa as Dante Reyes, Alan Ritchson as Ames, the new director of the agency, and Vin Diesel as Dominic Toretto. We see all the big members of the series return, even Paul Walker's Brian. They did it by repurposing old footage to make it seem like he was a part of the action. Each of them gets a scene or two, with the regular members getting more. The entire film is like one big action sequence from start to finish, with very little downtime in between the segments. The film starts by reviewing the job Dominic pulled that killed Hernan Reyes, and then from there we get a little bit of setup before getting hit by endless action sequences. The story makes little sense but comes with a lot of excitement. It jumps around to all the different characters and gives each of them some action sequences to take part in, and a few of them get to do some driving as well. Every 5 minutes they change characters, and every 10 minutes they're introducing a new character to the series or reintroducing somebody we've already met in the past film. All kinds of fantastical events happen throughout, and they're not just far-fetched, they're actually impossible. Like at one point Dom drives off a dam and starts driving down the dam wall. In reality, gravity would have yeeted him to his death, but somehow he makes it all the way to the bottom and the car sticks to the wall the whole way. He is also literally engulfed in flames from an explosion, and somehow his nitrous boost doesn't explode, but it also still works during said explosion. The rest of the film's logic isn't much better. They also murder so many policemen and government agents in this film. These guys have a bigger body count than all of the James Bonds combined in just one single movie. The dialogue feels like it was pulled from other movies and just forced into the story. Half of it is technical jargon that doesn't really explain anything, but sounds smart. Another big chunk is Dominic and the others talking about how important family is, and the rest is action hero one-liners. The cast does what they can, but there is a huge range of performance quality in this film. At the top you have guys like John Cena, who comes in as Uncle Muscles, kicks some butt, is funny, and even gets to have a couple of genuinely heartfelt moments. Or Charlize Theron, who plays a frenemy throughout the film. She's a badass and delivers some truly chilling lines. Then at the bottom you have different actors reading their lines off like they can't wait to get out of there, and you have Vin Diesel and Jason Momoa who are all over the place. Momoa is doing his best Joker impression, and he seems like a guy who's bad at telling jokes. He's just not scary. Diesel sometimes gets the emotions right, but at others he's an unfeeling action hero. He cries remembering one of his dead friends, but then barely reacts when a new one dies at the end. He also delivers every line the same way, like he's trying to act cool while he says it. It's hard for the other members of the cast to do much due to the poor dialogue and the lack of screen time, but a couple of people actually make it work. Aside from John Cena and Charlize Theron, I thought Alan Ritchson, Jason Statham, and Helen Mirren did a good job with their time. Visually, this film is an adrenaline junkie's wet dream. There are car chases, explosions, endless fights, guns, cannons, and there's even a mini spy jet that John Cena drives. It's high octane from start to finish, and the stunts are so cool. They also did a lot with the different sets they built. At one point they had John Cena destroying this house as he deals with the enemy agents, and he actually destroys the first floor ceiling, blows holes through most of the walls, and creates entire new rooms using only a man's head. It's a lot of fun, and the environmental destruction was taken to a whole new level in this. None of it conforms to any sense of reality, but it was a lot of fun to watch. Sound-wise, the film is saturated with modern dance tracks, a few classic pop hits, and background instrumentals. They use the dance tracks for the parties they throw and for some of the action sequences. They do a good job of getting the audience hyped up and setting a fast pace for the scene. The classic tracks tend to be throwback references. One in particular was a throwback to the meme of Brian and Dom driving away from each other. The instrumentals, as usual, show up during emotional moments, action sequences, and tense situations. They do a good job of filling out the atmosphere, but don't usually stand out. They also tend to be a little louder than they needed to be. Overall, Fast X is another fantastical story about an action hero taking on a supervillain. The acting is all over the place, the visuals are orgasmic, the soundtrack is catchy but not all that impactful, and the writing is exciting but rarely makes sense. If you like mindless action, this movie has it all. The explosions and stunts are great. They give you enough action to last a year. 5 out of 10. And remember, those are just my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Bye-bye.